Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all keeping well and keeping safe, keeping your head down. Welcome to the kitchens of Lush. That is Leslie's Unexpected School of Hospitality, or some people like to call it LIC. It's Leslie's Independent College of Catering with a K. Anyway, bit of fun. Right, today I'm going to show you how to make some fresh homemade Irish soda farls. Now, traditional Irish soda farls, or in my case, Northern Irish soda farls, were used with soups, casseroles, stews, that sort of thing. Or they can even be toasted with lashings and lashings of butter. So I don't have any favourite way of them. I love them always. So I'm going to tilt the phone down for the screen. We're going to get started and you'll hear my voice as we go along telling you what to do. So, there we go. One bowl, one sieve, 1 cup. For this recipe, we need 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of buttermilk, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to measure out the plain flour. We need 2 cups of plain flour. There's 1. And there's 2. Now, there's another Irish delicacy called wheaten bread. And the wheaten bread is made in exactly the same fashion as I'm going to show you here. But it is made with coarse wholemeal flour. And I've made both recently and I just can't get enough of it. So here's some bicarbonate of soda. 1 teaspoon. Get it in. And we need 1 teaspoon of salt. There we go, get it in. I'll keep a little bit out, a bit too much. So I'll sieve this all together. There we go. Sieve together. Now, I'm going to pour 1 cupful of buttermilk. Just like that. Oh, hopefully not too much. And I'm going to make a well in the center. Pour a little bit of the buttermilk in, maybe about half. And just gently gather the rest of the flour into the middle of the well so that it soaks up the buttermilk. So that's taken up nicely. I'll pour in some more and do it again. We don't want to pour in all the milk all at once too quickly because it might be too much for the grade of flour, whatever, you know. So a little bit more. And then just gently bind it all together. You don't have to knead this soda bread flour, soda bread mix. If you knead it too much, you begin to knock out all the air bubbles and the air that gets inside the mix. And I don't want to do that. So just try and bring it all together. I think we'll add in the rest of that milk. There we go. And it's coming together nicely. There we go. Now I'll use a little bit of flour on my, in fact I'll use that spoon first of all to try and take off the mix that's stuck to the fingers. What we're going to need to cook the soda farls on, I don't expect every house to have a griddle, but traditionally they're cooked on a griddle over an open fire. Now usually over an open peat fire, but for our purposes I'm going to use a heavy kind of like a steak frying pan. It has little ridges on it and actually gives a nice visual effect as well. So I'm going to use a little bit of flour to try and clean my hand a little bit. Now, before I actually started, I should have said earlier, I cleaned all the bench down. I gave it a good clean and I washed and sterilised my hands as well. That's quite important in these particular times. So there's my soda mix. Plop it down on a floured bench. A little bit more flour on my hand. There we go. Try and get rid of that off my hands. Don't want to waste any. So, not too much working the dough. We'll just gently spread it out. Into as much of a circle as you can manage, and about 1/2 inch thick. There, that's about it. Get rid of this. Now, I shall use a knife. Now, normally you would cut into 4. We give you 4 large soda farls. Sometimes I think they're a bit big. Yeah, but sure, who cares? They're lovely. Let's cut it into 4. So there you go. That's the soda farls. I'm going to leave them for a few minutes just so that the baking soda can begin to activate a little bit. In the meantime, I'll give my hands a clean and I'll get the pan on. So I'll be back in just a minute. Right then, ladies and gents, welcome back to the kitchens at Lush, Leslie's underrated school of hospitality. I've had a griddle pan on just for a couple of moments on a low gas heat to replicate an old-fashioned griddle over a peat fire. So I have lightly greased the pan, not too much at all, just enough so nothing sticks. I'm going to drop the first couple of farls onto the pan. There's 1. And 2. So we allow about 6 or 7 minutes per side on the sodas, and these will fluff up, they will rise and gently cook through. And after about 6 or 7 minutes, you turn it over to the other side and do exactly the same. So I guess after maybe 12, 13, 14 minutes, you can lift one up and give it the old sort of cake test, you know, that cupcake test where you tap on the bottom of it and it sounds hollow, it sounds dry, cooked all the way through, then that's what we're looking for. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes where we'll turn them over and we'll do the other side. So see you all in a couple of minutes. So ladies and gents, going to turn the sodas over. I've actually turned them over a couple of minutes ago and forgot to record. So we'll just flip them over as I was doing anyway. Do you see that nice golden side? There we go, that's what we're looking for. A little bit of goldenness on each side. And we'll take another 4 or 5 minutes to cook this other side and then we'll come back again. Right then, my lovelies. We'll flip these over and see what the colour's like. Ah, look at that. That is traditional soda farl colour. That's what we're looking for. And if I lift that up, oh, it's warm. That sounds absolutely fantastic. So that's the first two done. I'll get the other two done now shortly as well. And then we'll come back with all four on the plate ready to serve. Thank you very much. Well, hello again, folks. So we have finished off all the soda farls. We've cooked them all through. I have them sitting on a plate here cooling down. And beside that plate, I have another plate with a couple of the wheaten farls that I made last week. They've been in the freezer. I brought them out this morning to get them defrosted. And I'll have them tomorrow with my breakfast. So just to show you then what we've made today, and I'll flip the camera around. I think no, I'll go that way. There's our lovely little soda farls and our wheaten farls, and these are just absolutely scrumptious. They're warm, they're moist. All that remains for me to do is to actually sample one, and I've got one here right in my hand right now. Gonna have that along. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, you couldn't beat them with a big stick. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed hope you enjoyed that little tutorial. Sorry, my mouth's full, can't help it. My mouth's usually full, I'm sure everybody knows that. All the best, folks. That's how you make soda farls, traditional Northern Irish cuisine. Thank you.